Welcome to part 3. Here we are going to cover DNS, Domain Naming Service. We will go through the nitty gritty at the end, but let's get straight into it. Here is what's considered a usual set of streets in your town. You are at the top, you are here, Paul. You live at number 23 Sycamore Street. You want to send a parcel, or maybe you'd like to visit Joe in Jacob Drive, but you don't know the exact address. Well, every house has a phone book, and you look up here and you can see Joe is at 21 Jacob Drive. For future reference, you may make a note of Joe's address so you don't have to keep looking it up in the phone book. Say you want to send him a parcel. Postman would come and collect the parcel from your house in 23 Sycamore Street and go along the route that he knows until he eventually reaches Jacob Drive, and number 21 is Joe's property, and he delivers your parcel. Therefore, you have passed information from your address to his address. Now let's look how this correlates in the computer world. So instead of your address, it is your computer address. You're still here on your PC and you want to send something to the print server down here and you want to print a document. Every computer does not have a full list of every address on the network, but what it has, the IP address for the DNS server. Every computer should know when it registers with DNS, it then makes a record itself in its local system what the DNS server is. So it says here I am on 192.168.1.23. Please add me to your records. Yeah. And the DNS server says will do, and you should make a note of my address, which is 192.168.1.17. Which you do. Then anytime you want to find another address that you don't know, your computer would then go to the DNS server and say, I want this computer, but I don't know where it is. And it's the print server, for instance. I want to print something, but the printer's called this, but I don't know where the address is. It says fine, I know where it is. It's 192.168.1.21 and sends that information back to you here. And what you then do is you cache it so that you can use it at a later date. You can also manually add records to a local host file. So you could add the addresses rather than get them from the DNS server, or maybe they're not on the DNS server. Your computer would check the local host file first before going to a DNS server. That all should seem straightforward to you. We'll cover a few more bits. In your business, you will have a LAN. I'll underline that for you. It's LAN, Local Area Network. And it will probably be all IPv4. As you can see here, a 192.168.1.1. 4 sets of numbers separated by 3 periods. Those are the addresses. Just like the example before, it's reversed. So your door number will be here, street will be here, your town will be here, your country will be here. That's how the address works. I'm in this country, this town, this street. Here is the number I need to get to. Now, there's a limit to how many IP4 addresses out there in the world. What they've done is they've created this IPv6, which enables many more than we're ever going to use. As you can see though, it's obviously vaster in size and incorporates letters as well. There's a couple of periods there, and it's just ready for the expansion of the web basically. Let's show you that underneath why these things are needed in DNS. The machine is what you would call it. I call it my PC, you call it Ted's PC. There's a DNS server print server. Those machines have a name. That name is in the domain. So if they're part of the lcit.com domain, they would have names like printserver01 or ps01.thedomain.com, dns1.thedomain.com, pc5.thedomain.com, pc1.thedomain.com. So this is what you might call it when talking to your friends. This is what the computer's actually called. This is its IP address. These are actually named so that humans can read them. This is so humans can read them and understand them. So I know that DNS1 is the DNS server. I know that PSO1 is the first of my print servers. Computer doesn't care about any of this really. All the computer cares about is this figure here. It's basically saying this node, this, I'll bracket them all, subnet is where I need to send this information. It knows that, this could be a different subnet. It knows that that different subnet is where it needs to send it to 180. Now there are a limit to IP addresses, and there are a couple you can't use. There's 0 to 255 is your limit. So these numbers here will never be lower than, greater than 0 to 255. And to be honest, they will never be a 0 because that is used as a broadcast address, as is 255. But it's used by the network as a broadcast address. So in actual terms, you could possibly, I doubt you ever use 1 dot to go all the way up to 254. But there's reasons why we don't, and that also will be explained at a later date. Hope this helps you to understand what DNS is, what IP addresses are and how they work, and how the addressing system works. Thank you.